Hello Gwent people, now we're gonna be playing Squirtle from the Harvest of Sorrow expansion. The deck that relies on handbuff, the deck that tries to create as much carryover as possible in the first couple of rounds to slam the big points from hand by round 3. It got some new tools. It got Filavandrel, we got a leader arc back into the game, and yeah, it is a card that requires you to handbuff it because on deploy it creates in melee a card, Squirtle special card with a provision cost equal to unit's power. So basically it creates a 6 provision special if you buffed him 2 times and so on, but on the range it creates a Squirtle special with provision equal or lower, so it gives you a spectrum, a choice of 3 cards. The reason for that is that, for example, there is no 9 provision Squirtle special, so not 9, 7 and 11 for example, so yeah. You don't want to overbuff your Fila and play it front row into the melee because it will show you nothing. So you want to play it on those occasions into the ranged and get something lower. But yeah, it's a straightforward. You hand buff it. If you want something like Waters of Brokilon, you buff it exactly to 12. But considering some of the hand buff is random unit in your hand, you cannot really regulate it, so you probably just aim at the lower ones, or maybe at the tutors if you missed something. We got Seamless. Seamless is a powerful tool of creating bronze cards, or playing them from your hand, and you have Alisa in the card pool that allows some shenanigans with Seamless. We are not playing that card here because we are playing Torque and we require Devotion. So that Torque's ability on Devotion is that it starts in your starting hand. So you guarantee, as with Sunset Wanderers starting in your hand on the leftmost position, Torque is also guaranteed to start in your hand at random slot though, and whenever it's boosted it also buffs something else by the same amount. So any random pink that buffs Torque by 1 gonna buff something else in your hand by 1. So you want this and something else in your hand, and Devotion condition is clear because of that. You want him in your hand because you all played Sheldon Skaggs, so try to play Sheldon Skaggs deck. If you miss the Sheldon, all your hand buff is wasted on something else and irrelevant bronzes, and you do not double dip on those values. But yeah, we're playing Skaggs here because we are talented and we want to buff Torque, and the buffs hit Sheldon Skaggs later. We play Danka and double Smuggler, which are all buffing cards in your hand. We're Devotion, so it doesn't matter if it's Squirtle only or any card, because we only have Squirtle cards. So from the new cards, we play Fila, we play Torque, what else? Aitlin hasn't been in the meta for the longest time possible. It's now at 6 power, 10 provisions, buffs a unit in your hand by 4. So you click Torque, you get 14 for 10. Which is decent, plus if it hits Sheldon Skaggs, you are double happy. We play tutors for all those cards for specials. We play Invigorate as a leader because once again you're buffing Torque, you're buffing your Fila for improved value, and you potentially want to buff some of your finishers. We play Bountiful Harvest that allows us to pick one. It shows us 3 Dolplatana elves. In English version, all but Watcher of the Valley have Dolplatana in the name, but in other languages it's even more random. So they could have made it a tag, Dolplatana, for clearance, but at the moment just know that Watcher of the Valley is also in the spectrum. But yeah, you can always check on the card. So we have Bomber coming from this card, which is not as exciting. Dolblatana Archer, 7-point card, cannot really complain. Bowman for 6 damage. Sentry doesn't do much as we're not running any movement. Sorceress of Dolblatana is skewed because it creates you more specials for potential hand buff on circles. Whisperer is a decent engine, and Watcher of the Valley is a deploy unit that gives an enemy unit bleeding equal to the amount of boost on this card. So bleeding is not that efficient. If you buffed it by 10, you want to play this as a first card and bleed opponent's unit, but is it a 10 power unit? Debatable, but on the bonded it damages itself, so the second copy is guaranteed to deal the damage if the first one survives, so then you get your 10 damage. That sounds insane on the bronze card that was collecting buff in your hand. And yeah, we played 2 copies of it from a hand as well. I decided to put all the possible, or most of the possible seamless targets. So we play double Circle of Life, we play double Rebuke, we play double Bountiful Harvest, and Tempering. We do not play another nature. This is a nature, this is a nature, this is a nature, this is a nature. So your seamless is not breaking. Spells are not nature cards, but we could have played them. Probably no need. Oh, at least like this is not going with the idea of the deck. You want your Sheldon hand buffed as much as possible. So yeah, we're also not playing the Dryad's Caress. Unit limit is 15. We could have gone 2 less. We could have kicked a couple of elves out of the deck and played like 2 more specials to make seamless less breakable. And yeah, I put double Elven Swordmaster, so if you expect opponent to have some sort of damage, you might bait removal onto the Swordmaster before playing Smuggler. That might help you. But yeah, the hand buff is an archetype project, has been pushed, so let's give it a shot. Let's see how it performs. I've seen some streamers play something similar already, and unanswered, the values in your hand are crazy. It's just that surrounding meta is quite crazy as well. So it might not work out. We'll see how it goes. Also, I hope we're not running into Nilbog. Okay, we are collecting mirrors. If you watched the previous video, if you're not, yeah, drop a follow and check it out. For Meditating Mages, we run into a mirror, and we are in the mirror once again. We talented, so Torque is guaranteed, but Sheldon is not, but we managed to find him. We do not see any tutors for Seamless, which is sad. We want this in our hand, we don't mind those. Tempering is unnecessary. Eatlin is nice. And we're probably kicking Swordmaster. Okay, so we got the hand buffs. Opponent is also running Enchanted Armor for more hand buffs. Understandable. You seen one, you want them all. So we are starting with hand buffs ourselves. I haven't seen Smuggler for a while, it's been almost a year. But yeah, it's a card that buffs a random unit in your hand by 1, so once per turn you get that 1 point of carryover, but it is the Omega slow tempo.
Show me the coin or sod off. Got business for me.
So hand buffs. Nothing is hitting Torque, but we have units aplenty. We do not get Watcher buffed as well, or Sheldon, which is unfortunate. Okay, so there we go, the Torque gets buffed. The first hit, I announce we got the first hit. We need more of them though, but yeah, it's kinda sad we have so many units. I should have maybe rebuked first turn the Donka. Opponent is a memer, so he runs the trees butterflies as well. Could have killed Smuggler, but Donka has 3 damage, so if he accidentally wanted to stop engines from working, he might have went for the shot from Donka. And this gets us ahead and limits the number of units. Okay, so Sheldon gets some buffs. It's a shame that we do not have
Spit it out already.
we're playing Forest Protector, so we did find a card to play. I'm a bit afraid of keeping this alive, so we kill, otherwise we could have damaged and just killed the Smuggler here. So we win on even. He played more carryover, we played Forest Protector, which is an expensive card of course. But yeah, exciting stuff. It might be just that the meta is too broken with Skellige, for example. But the cards definitely give you that feel of beta, at least some of them. So we have double harvest in hand, or in deck, and we have now tutor for the we got the tutor, we got the tutor. Also apparently we have some frame drops. Unfortunate, if you ask me. So the Bountiful Sorrow is creating 2 copies and then buffing units on the leftmost, rightmost, or in the or randomly in your hand. We have 5 units here, which is sort of unfortunate. I think we go for seamless play here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not like this mattered as of now. I also trolled with the rope, so the game will pick randomly for me. Thank you. Yeah, don't rope this turn. I shouldn't have leadered. But yeah, it's the start of the season and you are supposed to be figuring your turn, so I figured out not to repeat that. It's just that I did not want to drop anything else. Maybe Itlin was the play on the last second. So a lot of wasted potential here, sorry for that. You'll know not to do this. So do we hand buff those? 5, I think we do. I think we are in that kind of mood. It also protects Watcher of the Valley from rebuke. I just imagine playing this deck versus a high control against something that spawns rain in Skellige, or Skellige Storm, I mean, not rain. Might get a bit too insane. So we got our Watcher of the Valley into damage, but before that we kind of want to kill the Whisperer, so that is eliminated. Now we have Watcher to kick out of her hand, and guaranteed Itlin buff from Torque goes to Sheldon Skaggs as well. And then we are potentially stopping. Double it. 33 points. That was the only card he had. Quality stuff, honestly. Deploy bonded damages instead. Yeah, I'll damage. Damage by 7 as promised, by the amount the card is buffed when it's bonded. So we have 2 copies. Bam, insta profit. So every buff he got went to Itlin. Oh, 99.9% of them, because our hand buffs are on 3 units and then some. We definitely play this card. He cannot pass. We get our guaranteed value. He might have been not talented with drawing Sheldon, but most likely has it, and it was just an unfortunate case. At least I believe he has it. He got the card that we missed, Fila, ready to provide his services to all the elves. Do we play Torque as well? Like, we don't have any Torque payoffs, but maybe we won't exchange. We will exchange a card for card value here. Like, he's not playing any more carryover as well. We're barely catching up here. So the question arises if he has gold or bronze. Like, we did get a couple of golds out of him, and he dropped the Itlin. Now the question is, what are the leftover cards? I think I'll drop Torque. If it's Sheldon Torque, okay, so he's an Aglae's memer, but it's kind of shame that Itlin is buffed to 33 and Aglae's is only a 20. Aglae's is also a meme that you're gonna see on the ladder, certainly. It might be a bit too much of a meme, but it is a card. It is a card that also feeds the archetype. Oh, so we can actually buff the Fila. Oh, Mr. Opponent. So yeah, at the moment, as you might see from the YouTube uploads, I'm giving shot to different factions. The Mimir decks, the competitive decks will come on later. So we play 4 first. We could take 4th into one of those, but I kind of feel going all in with the hand buffs. I kind of wanted this to hit Fila. So yeah, he buffed the Torque. Kinda wanted to buff Fila, but I guess we'll take a full provision special. Equal or lower. And yeah, here he is. Playing non-consistent deck. Still had Torque available to him, but did not find every card. A 5 that goes taller, and a 4, so I think we'll take in a 5. Is it a heat wave by any chance? No, just a cute card. But yeah, we were talented. So there you go. A deck for you to try out. The hand buff. The hand buff Skoya for the victory. So yeah, thanks for watching. It's a short promo from the deck. We'll see how meta develops and how playable is the archetype. I would assume that it will fall victim of the control. If you haven't followed, subscribed on Twitch and on YouTube. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Всем пока, спасибо, что смотрели.